1979, housewife superstar Dame Edna Everage let Arena into her beautiful home and glitzy showbiz life. A real insight now on BBC4 into the world of La Dame Aux Gladiolas.
Oh, good evening. How sweet of you to come. As you know, I've just returned from this most wonderful, wonderful trip. And I'd like to ask you, because you're such very dear personal friends of mine, a very intimate question. I wonder if any of you have been to a slide evening before.
Gladdy. Here we are. Rosemary, there you are, darling. Jump for it, darling. Now, darlings, up with the Gladdies. Up. These flowers are pests in Australia. They're Australian, through and through. So keep your courage and trust up. Give your Gladdy a thrust up. Hold your Gladdy by the end of the stem, the maximum Gladdy thrust. Get ready to tremble. Stand by to tremble. Not too much, you might go blind, darling. And your dreams will all come. Stand and tremble. Stand up and tremble, your Gladdy.
Edna May Beasley, born Australia 19...
Thank you. Swarm around me. Here am I, sharing my experience, hope and strength with you.
Married Norman Stoddart Everage, 19... Issue Trevor Bruce, Valmay Shirley, Kenneth Montgomery.
No, I don't think a superstar is above this. There's a little tinted person. Hello, darling.
Yeah, signed Nicole.
Nicole? Yeah. I'm glad the operation was such a...
Meets Barry Humphries, impresario and small-time comedian, 1956.
My limo? Yes, who are you? You are my...
President of the Gladiolas Society.
So you are. It's applause. It's little Ron Park. Hello, darling.
This is our new variety, ecstasy.
Is this called ecstasy?
Ecstasy, and it's for you.
Thank you, Ronald. My public is awaiting me. I must say a few more little things. Hello. Wouldn't it be awful if there was a fire while you're all up?
West End engagements include Just a Show, 1968, Housewife Superstar, 1976, Husband permanently hospitalized, 1971, Invested with Damehood, 1973, Recreation, Loving. Present address, Oliver Messel Suite, Dorchester Hotel, London, W1.
gorgeous penthouse, I swoon to a tune by Johann Richard Strauss. I float round my suite in the late morning sun in a fabulous nightie designed by my son. For how could I dance to a sad arabesque with these cranes of fan letters heaped on my desk? I'm sorry, but I'm not like some other great stars who languish and wilt like poor glads in a vase. My natural good taste demands an embargo on naming Dame Peggy, Dame Joan, or Dame Margot. Compassionate viewer, don't let your tears drop for an elegant superstar alone at the top. For how could I be lonely with this room more than half full of BBC film crew and Dorchester staff? Reg, caress my knobs, will you, darling?
This frock, can you see
Oh, look, that's a little show I recorded in Adelaide many moons ago.
it shows how versatile a tablecloth can be. It's Dame Edna Everage, housewife superstar.
Tweak my little knobs.
Organisation, hasn't it? Apart from the mic wall.
Oh, this is a nice one.
Famous intellectuals, but I'm still basically just the same as you are, ladies.
Heavens above, Reg, am I the only thing on British television? Try Channel 3, darling.
I came in here
Oh, it's Joan Bakewell. I adore her.
in depth.
In depth.
Oh, there's me again. Aren't I a media hog, Reg? Of course you didn't do my hair then, darling. Alas, more's the pity.
Word for nerves. Oh. Yes, I'm afraid I have been obliged at the 11th hour to hold the fort here. So you'll have to interview me, dear, and you've never been interviewed by an intellectual equal before. Only by Russell Harty.
Thank you, darling.
Please stop talking.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
make you a cup of tea.
Same time tomorrow. Bless your hearts. Thank you, possums.
Like a nice cuppa?
I would love some.
You look like a girl who could do with something hot inside her, aren't you?
Aren't I a decadent, depraved woman watching TV in the daytime? But you're too polite to say. Thank you, personnel. You're dismissed, darlings. This is a very private moment. I'm going to be probed by the arts department of the BBC, and it could be painful. Bobby, thank you, darling. Even my corgis have ears.
Dame Edna, is it an appropriate moment to ask you about your relationship with Barry Humphries?
Thank you, security.
Was it a Bible story that first brought you together?
There's always, I think, traditionally, if I may be a little bit historicist here in the simplistic sense, per se, been a tension between the impresario and the artist, or the artiste in my case. I mean, look at the quarrels that Diaghilev, that lovely old choreographer of the olden days, had with Nijinsky and Pavlova, his two principal ballerinas. They were squabbling like cat and dog most of the time. And I think the reason is that impresarios wish, indeed, they were up on stage with the lights and the adulation and the applause. And I think Barry sometimes feels very, very bitter. I hope he's not going to see this. But you see, he's trussed me up like a chicken in his contract. Trussed me up like a blessed chicken. I didn't see the small print. I was a comparatively unsophisticated woman, hard to believe, but I was. When Barry first got me to sign on the dotted with my little biro, my in-purse biro, I was paying Mary Magdalene, who was the naughty one in the Bible story, at our Lord's bar mitzvah, at the time when she opens the nivea and smears it on the Lord's little tootsies, you know. And that's a lovely little scene, and I used to do it very well. I used to bring the house down every night. And I was doing it, you see, and I had to wipe it out with my hair. I had beautiful hair. I was a youngster then. I'd just started to grow hair I could sit on. And it was my mother used to brush it out, you know, that was before she had the, you know. And I used to wipe the, you know, as a matter of fact, the Scoutmaster played our Lord very beautifully too. Oh, he was a terrific hit. And had beautiful feet too, and still does probably. However, after the show, I used to wash out my locks. I've told this story before, but I'm telling it again now. I'm telling a full story. In the little font, there was a deconsecrated font at the back of the church hall, and I would be washing out the stickiness, our Lord's stickiness, from my hair. And all of a sudden in came Barry Humphries, you know. He could have knocked me over with a bottle of Loxine and Silvercrin. And there he was, and he said, I want you. You know, I didn't quite know what to make of it at first. I thought, I hope the vicar's not in the room. Soap gets in your eyes. I felt like singing. I love that old number. However, that was the start of something, and it was a lovely, warm friendship, and it lasted a long time, and it's still there, you know, but business, you know, I'm sorry, but the old pounds, shillings and pence, they change things a bit. I think it's a pity, really. It's not me. I'm no different. But I think he is, you know, he's got used to some of the little luxuries that my talent has bought for him.
Dame Edna, housewife, superstar, mother, will you tell us a little bit about your children?
Yes, well, of course, there'll be a lot in my autobiography. I am working on my autobiography. What a foolish woman I would be, and what a selfish person. Wouldn't I be a selfish woman if I didn't think to myself, well, after all, what is posterity going to inherit of mine? A few gramophone records, a few little bits of film, a lot of, well, laughter is something which evaporates, doesn't it? And you can't capture that in a bottle like you can a rare vintage, alas.
We would like to hear about Kenny and Bruce and Val May.
Well, as I say, a lot of it will be kept for my autobiography and my memoirs.
Dame Edna's eldest son, Bruce, Australia's leading spokesman on dried apricots, resides in London with his wife, Joylene. Her younger son, Kenneth, lives with his partner, Clifford Smale. Their business interests include dressmaking and the cultivation of lounge plants. Soon, they plan to open London's first Art Deco emporium. Her only daughter, Val May, still lives in Melbourne with her husband and 3 children. Dame Edna, your daughter, I believe, Val May.
Val May is a lovely girl. Yes, she's always been an absolutely delightful child.
It's been reported that your daughter, your only daughter, Val May, has recently been breathalyzed in Australia. Is there any truth?
Absolute lot of twaddle, that is. Silly paper talk. Silly, foolish paper talk. She's given me a terrible lot of trouble, Val May. I've done everything I can. Everything. I don't know why she acts in this compulsive way. She's her father's daughter. That's the trouble with Val. Her father's daughter. Always was. Whenever there's a bit of trouble, she reaches for something. She just isn't so self-sufficient. I can blame myself. I could, if it wasn't so obviously Norm's fault. Anyway, she was breathalyzed in a rather unusual circumstance, you must admit, in safe ways. Just pushing one of those trolleys. I don't see that it matters a hint of sherry on a girl's lips under those circumstances, do you? She's a lovely girl. I think she married too soon. Mervyn wasn't the right man for her. I liked him. I blame myself there. I approved of him, and I managed to get her the very best psychiatric advice that you can find in Melbourne, which, as you know, was a pioneer of psychotherapy. It was at one stage a rival of Vienna. Did you know Sigmund Freud lived in Melbourne for quite a few weeks? I'd like to draw your attention to a little-known pamphlet of mine, which will soon be reprinted, called Sigmund Freud, The Forgotten Weeks.
Dame Edna, may I ask you at what point you knew you had the stuff of greatness in you?
I first realised that I was a special person, and I mean that in a very modest and a very nice way. I don't mean that in a horrible, arrogant kind of a way. But very soon after very soon after my wedding night, as a matter of fact, I realised I had it in me. I realised I had it in me for the first time. And after that, every night I had it in me. We had fancy dress. We were married, in the 30s, early 40s. I'm not going to be specific. This will be in my autobiography, and I don't want to divulge everything on this program, naturally. In fact, I intend to divulge as little as possible. Don't turn off, though, BBC viewers and regionals, because there'll be a few little disclosures for you.
Dame Edna, herself a gifted artist, is seen here at work on one of her best-loved paintings, The Tinted Lass. Dame Edna, your love of art is almost as legendary as your own art. Can you speak a little bit about your favourite painters, your favourite poets?
Scream. I love the work of Edward Scream. It always makes me laugh, really, because I think of his famous painting on the bridge of the woman standing there having the nervous breakdown. I love it. I haven't got the original of it. But it cheers me up to see it because I think he had a lot of sympathy for women at my age. Of course, this Danish woman on the bridge by Scream isn't in the state of preservation that I'm in. She's a woman who's let herself go terribly, as most women on the bridge. Did you remember Vivian Lee in Waterloo Bridge, by the way? She might have been the model for that, though I doubt it. I think it was during Edward Scream's Australian period. Not many people know that this famous Danish expressionist was in Sydney for a couple of days back in the 1930s when he did this painting, and I think it is on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. He left it a little bit ambiguous there, but that's one of my favourite paintings. I love The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Oddly enough, a lot of people have compared me with Botticelli's Venus, and funnily enough, when I was in the Uffizi Gallery in Milan, not very many moons ago, with Kenny and Cliff, on one of their little grand tours, I was, as a matter of fact, taking my shoes off. I've been traipsing around Florence and Milan, and I took my shoes off at the bottom of the Birth of Venus. I was sitting there, and a lot of tourists looked at me and looked up at this painting, and they went white, ashen, to see the resemblance between my bone structure and hers. But I love to keep my mystery. My mystery is so important. You know, how many of the glamour pusses of film and stage do you read about? They're exposing themselves right and left. No mystery, no glamour. I managed to combine glamour and a sense of mystery. They put me in this gorgeous frock. Don't you love the colour? It's what we used to call aqua in Australia. It's a basic aqua. Many people ask me my secret.
It's more elegant if you're...
It's like that?
Like that, yes.
Oh, the lovely way I
Who would have
dress.
thought that I would be told what
Let
was
me
happening?
help you put your finger on
And what humility
my
I
single greatest asset. It's my niceness. I pride myself on my niceness. It's such a gift without price to be nice even when you feel blue. 'Cause I really care, and I've come here to share my wonderful,
I've been draped.
wonderful niceness with you. What is it that makes us different from the creatures in the zoo?
I have a nuclear disarming modesty.
Beauty. Animals have got those too.
Where is little Cannon Collins now?
The intelligence. Just look at all those rats and mice. Ooh. But Dame Nature has blessed us alone with the gift of being nice.
She's got niceness. Edna prides herself on her niceness. She's got a gift without price, and she's nice when other folks make a fuss. 'Cause she really does care, and she's come here to share her wonderful, wonderful niceness with us.
I often come home from a trot in the park to find Madge Allsop alone in the dark. My old bridesmaid Madge travels wherever I go. Many say I'm a saint to keep Allsop in tow. But since her poor husband died, Madge, well, she stayed on the shelf. When I'm riding, she sits at home, creaming herself. I don't need lotions or drugs to help me stay buoyant, but occasional visits from a kindly clairvoyant. Come in.
Good morning, Dame Edna. I'm Robin Stevens, the clairvoyant you asked to see.
Oh, darling, thank you so
How
much
do you
for
do?
coming to see me.
My pleasure.
Please sit down. I've found a little pair of specs that I've had for years and years. I think you requested something I'd had for
That
some
will be
time.
suitable. Thank you. That's lovely. And really, you know, I don't require you to say too much apart from just yes or no.
Oh,
or
darling,
no.
bless you. I've just done my morning exercise. I'm a little bit tired. I've got my show tonight.
Fine. Okay. Well, I'll try and just whip through it if you just nod or say yes.
You're
that'd
not
be
going to
fine.
frighten me, are you?
I'll try not to. I'm sure there's nothing in your history which you'd be ashamed of. Wait.
feels from this article that you have a tremendous potential for not just hard work, but exertion on the personal front, from your personality point of view, and also, I think, from your temperament's point of view, which shows through in your dealings with people and, indeed, in your very astute assessment of people. That's really it.
Well, I'm a judge of people, I must say. I have to be, yes.
That indicates it. The vibrations from this indicate a deep feeling, understanding, and indeed perceptive personality.
Oh, darling,
which is
you're
normal.
so sweet. You're so psychic. You're uncanny.
What's interesting is that you too are quite sensitive.
You feel that?
There's a link that I find with someone, a gentleman, in fact, who I think would have met an untimely death, unfortunately, perhaps unusually. I don't know where. I don't wish to frighten you with that.
Oh.
Is there perhaps an uncle or somebody of that sort?
Who? Beyond? Is Beyond?
Oh, who's passed on, yes.
Oh.
Who's no longer here.
Well, my husband, you could hardly say he'd passed on. He's still with us.
No, I'm talking of somebody who has actually...
He's in transit.
True. I'm talking of somebody who has actually passed from this physical corner.
Well, my father, of course.
Oh, of course, yes.
And I had an uncle I was very, very fond of.
Really? Did he die tragically?
Uncle Athol, yes, he did. He was bitten by a snake.
How unusual, how unusual.
Not at all.
Oh, really?
Not in Australia.
Well, forgive me, I've never been there. I'm
Very
aware...
common, I'm afraid.
I'm aware, in fact...
In his own lounge room, too.
Surprising, surprising.
Can you feel royalty from these glasses? There was an encounter.
That was a surprising encounter, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Almost in an unusual setting.
Very unusual.
Do you follow that? I'm interested, too, how, in fact, you almost took command of the situation yourself rather than be overpowered by it.
Well, often I have to, darling, you know. As a matter of fact, she was a little overpowered.
Oh, I can believe that.
It was I who, I think, saved the situation. And I mean that in a nice way. I mean everything in a nice way.
I don't know how much more you would like me to tell you, but certainly that
Darling, you've
feels
said
to be
so much. It's been so rich, really.
Thank
You are incredible, may I say that? I have a confession to make to you now.
Yes.
You see that beautiful little engraving over there on the mantelpiece I've been glancing at?
Oh, yes.
It's a BBC camera.
Really?
I'm afraid it is.
Well,
will you forgive me?
Of course I will.
You thought you were interviewing me, and what scrupulous morality you have on a personal level, not to have taken advantage of a woman reclining, as she is, in the privacy of her suite, dressed in little more than a pair of strong jackboots. My own home, the place I was born in, by the way, has a blue plaque on it, and people are shown over it now. Isn't that marvellous? I wish we could have had some footage of that. But budgets have their limitations, even for my shows. There might be some lovely old snaps of mooning in here, or we might have a bit of newsreel footage of it. Oh, these pictures take me back.
Isn't there something a little special about that album, Dame Edna? I believe there's a picture of you with a great friend of yours, of Mr. Whitlam.
Oh. I think this was the turning point in my life. You see, admittedly, I was a celebrity, but when the former Prime Minister of Australia pressed his mouth firmly against mine, and I was a little offended at first. In fact, I felt like giving him the rough edge of my tongue, but I sort of smiled and accepted the accolade for what it was meant. And soon after, I fell to my knees, accidentally as it happened. I was wearing one of those silly new long hemlines. And he said, "Arise, Dame Edna," and that was it.
Dame Edna. Arise, Dame Edna.
That was too when I turned socialist. That was an interesting period in my life. Not many people realise I'm an extremely left-wing type of a person. Just because I live in the penthouse of the Dorchester, just because the Oliver Messel suite is a second home to me, and everywhere I hang my bath hat is home, incidentally, doesn't mean that I can't be a very radical person. You know, I sometimes shock Vanessa Redgrave with my views. And she's quite a difficult-to-shock little lady, I can tell you that. Not so little, as a matter of fact. Well, that's someone not everyone likes, little Mary Whitehouse, but I happen to think she's delightful. I gave her this koala bear. That's one of our native marsupials. This is slightly larger than life, and it plays Waltzing Matilda. It's got a machine inside it. You just pick it up, and every time you stuff your pyjamas into it, it plays our Australian national anthem. Isn't that marvellous? She adored it anyway. I adored her. Oh, that's me with Prince Charles. It's not a very good one of Madge, but who's seen a better one? See her trying to interpose herself between me and royalty. Of course, he hardly noticed her. But it's a very, very nice, direct sort of one of me. I'm a very subtle person. A lot of photographers, Cecil Beaton, Anthony Armstrong-Jones, Lord Snowdon, as he now is, have all said to me, what an elusive beauty that I have. Norman Parkinson. It's an elusive. They said, your beauty is so elusive, we doubt if we can capture it with the camera. But, you know, I think it's caught there. It's a robustness. There's the good health of an Australian upbringing. The steak breakfasts, I think, show very conspicuously there. And, you know, I had some little television programs in Australia years ago, before television reached Europe. And I think we've got a little clip of me showing Australian viewers my London.
Thank you. Oh, that is Piccadilly Circus. There's me, standing under the statue of Ethos. You know, I'm going to explode a myth. How often do we hear about the English Reserve? We're always told about the English Reserve. But it just does not exist, and you can take it from me as a seasoned traveller. You know, I was standing there in Piccadilly Circus, minding my own business, and you'd be surprised at the number of chappies who came up and spoke to me, just out of the blue, you know. It's amazing. Next slide, Bruce. That's me standing outside. Oh, one of the big clocks they've got over there. Next slide, please, Bruce. That is me standing outside Australia House. Inside, it's just like your own home. Oh, there. That is outside the old Bull and Bush, one of the many guest houses they have in England. And notice I'm meeting the people. I made a point of meeting the people in England. You know, so many Australians don't. I just saw anyone who interested me. I bowled straight up to them. I said, "Excuse I said, I'm Australian and I've come 13,000 miles to meet you." Oh, you should have seen their faces.
Oh, I've come a long way fashion-wise since then, haven't I?
Dame Edna, in your rich, varied and full career, is there still left anything that you feel an ambition to do?
Well, I'm not ambitious per se. That is to say, you know, from a simplistic point of view, you know, I'm not sort of striving to be the top of the tree, because I'm there. You see, why struggle any longer? It's not a question of struggle for me. It's just a question, really, of sharing what I've got with others. I'm a very giving person, a tremendously giving and supportive type of a person. My parameters are essentially supportive, per se. But there are a few little things I'd like to do. I'd like to be an impresario, as a matter of fact, very much. I'd love to have a piece of me. Instead of giving little pieces of myself to others, I'd just like to, you know, have a little bit of a go at that. It's quite easy to be an impresario. All you need is really a desire for an immense amount of money. I'm at the Piccadilly, that's my venue at the moment, but what I'd love to be above all is the maker of documentary films. I'd love to make a documentary film about something that matters, like death, or old age, or dwarfs, or even an old dead dwarf. I have the feeling then that I'd show the public that I'm a caring person, that I'd like to be like Ignoramus Bergman, you know, or little Woody Allen, because I feel that there's something what Strindberg and Ibsen said about Australia when they were out there. They were out there for a couple of days, I think, when one of their planes was offloading. Scanned air flights straight through. And I feel I can tell the public more about the serious side of Australia, the dark side, shall we say, of my wide brown continent. miss you. The suburb of my birth, moving wherever I may wander. You're the sweetest place on earth. There's my mother.
This week's jackpot stands at $80, and remember, an added bonus of $80 if you enclose with your entry as facsimile. Get your entry in right now. This Saturday afternoon, the Big BB will cover the match of the day between the Tigers and the Blues at Bristol.
We do not require your name and address, merely simple answers to questions relating to sexual norms.
Norm, darling, take it away, darling. Silly Billy. Silly Billy. No, darling. You may wonder if I ever dream of filling in the form that will let them pull the plug out on my poor long suffering Norm. I'm sorry, please of me. Wouldn't you worry? Don't cry for me, Australasia.
Ladies and gentlemen, television's premier personality person, Dame Edna Everage.
Madge! Where is that woman? Madge! I see she's been to the Oxfam shop with her diner's card again. All right, Madge. You might as well come down and join me, darling. But watch your step, for heaven's sake! Watch your step, Madge! Madge, darling! Darling, I hope you haven't broken anything. You have, you destructive woman! Look what you've done to these gladdies, look! Don't you know flowers have got feelings, Madge? You vandal! You hooligan! I'll never forgive you for that, woman! I'll never forgive you for that, woman! Yet, somehow she scrapes by. Darlings, don't ask me why. You see, we have this thing, like Bob Hope and Bing. Since I was a bride, we've been Jekyll and Hyde, and we rub along together, a bridesmaid and I. Yes, we rub along together, a bridesmaid and Here's me on the veranda of the Sydney Opera House. Aren't I a trans-hemispheric woman? And here's me mauling a little marsupial. Oh, cuddly little thing. It's the Memorial Theatre where Shakespeare put on some of his wonderful shows. Shows like To Be or Not to Be, or Lend Me Your Ear. Now, that's me again on the Bridge of Sighs at Stratford.
talking to a Shakespearean kiddie. I've got a wonderful... He's too young to remember Shakespeare, of course. I have a wonderful way with children. Look at the little mite. He's oh. That is a corner of Stratford-on-Avon. Notice the half-timbered... Look, a half-timbered car. Isn't it? Oh, dear. There I go. A descendant of Othello. Of course, in the early days, Shakespeare wouldn't have made much money, so he would have had to sell little excerpts from his shows from door to door to eke out their livelihood. And many would be the Stratford housewife sitting at home longing for Shakespeare to put his inky finger on her chime. He'd be listening for the famous sound, ding-dong, Swan of Avon calling. Where am I now? Why do I always dream in black and white? Who is this exquisite creature tripping across the lawn? It's none other, of course, than your dear old friend, a person who loves you very, very much, wearing my Chanel frock. Isn't it beautiful? This street is where all the stars are buried. They're all buried under this footpath. See those stars there? Look what I found. Yes, there's my little imitator, Elton John. Oh, I wouldn't mind annihilation. I wouldn't hide when the light is shone. Smiling whimsically. Don't I photograph well, girls? That is as its name suggests, and it's still... Oh! Oh, my God, Mike! Oh, heavens! Oh. It made me homesick, though. Sylvester Stallone, look! Sylvester Stallone. Poor Sylvester. I think when he got hit in Rock, he suffered a bit of brain damage. He can't talk, he can only pose for snaps. That is me eating a Japanese dish. It's mashed toad, it is. Oh, it's horrible toad. Oh, I must have dropped off. I could have drowned. I could have drowned here, Madge Alsop.
Bonjour, Dame Edna.
Anton, darling. You've been lurking in the shadows. What a wonderful treat you've turned out for my guests. It's going to be a wonderful function tonight, Anton. Tell me about some of these gorgeous cakes and things. What are they all?
C'est toutes les spécialités australiennes.
Australian specialities, am I right?
That's it, yes.
Lovely.
That's right.
What are these, sweetheart?
They're bumblebee balls.
Oh, lovely. I remember those from my childhood. Oh, and you've made them beautiful. Scrummy yummy.
Just freshly made.
And these? Tell me about these.
Lambigan's chocolate with coconuts.
Oh, another Australian speciality, Anton. What a clever little chef you are. No wonder the Dorchester's so proud of you. And this, oh, look at this scary old thing, viewers.
It's a funnel web spider cake.
Is it? Look at old naughty funnel web popping out of his hole there.
Made out of chocolate.
Is that a famous Australian spider?
Very, very famous.
You've heard of them over here, have you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and do people at the Dorchester love this?
Oh, they do love it. We sell a lot.
Do you? And this, darling, tell me about this.
C'est l'ananas et saucisse en surprise.
I'm sorry, that may suffer a little in translation. Will you tell our viewers what that is in English?
Fresh pineapple, sausages en surprise.
It's an Australian speciality too.
That's right.
How have you made them stand up like that, darling?
Oh, that's a secret.
I bet it's a secret many of our viewers would like to share with you. I remember these scrumptious things from my girlhood. Well, thank you so much, Anton. I'll be with you in a moment, darling. I just want a word with Mr. Miller.
How are you, Mr.
Evening,
Mueller?
Dame Edna. Nice to see you again.
Thank you, darling. Please call me madam.
Yes,
Where am
madam.
I sitting?
Now, Dame Edna, you are sitting here.
Yes?
Yes. On your left, Mr. Barry Humphries.
I see. Never mind, darling. What about on the right there?
On the right-hand side, Mr. Elton John.
Oh, Elton, bless his little heart. Is there an ashtray? Likes to have a little
Oh,
ciggy
yes,
with his soup?
I have everything ready there for you.
And tell me, come around here, Mr. Mueller. Who's sitting on the right of Elton and across the table from me?
Miss Esther Williams.
Oh, Esther, bless her heart. She's still in the land of the living. Marvellous. And on the far side, please,
Over
Mr.
there,
Mueller.
you have Frau Rudolf Hess.
Oh, how delightful.
I'm afraid her husband couldn't come.
Oh, that's a pity. Never mind. It'll be lovely to see her again after all these years. It's been an age. Oh, boys, Mrs. Alsop will be dining alone as usual. Will you have the candles kindled? Thank you so much, Anton. And thank you, boys. I'm sure you had a little finger in all of this. Thank you. You may go now. But have everything ready. I'll be coming here straight after the show. Straight after my curtain falls. Thank you. Bye-bye.
May I say, madam, that you look a trifle sad tonight?
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing, Mr. Mueller. Good night.
Good night, Dame Edna.
Elton, how lovely to see you, darling. Tell me about your new hit single. I'll be speaking to you in a minute, Barry. Oh, Frau Rudolf Hess. How sweet of you to come. And Esther. Oh, darling, let's have a plunge after dinner. Norm. Where are you, Norm? But the footlights beckon me. I'm ready for my public. I'm coming, darlings. Edna's coming. Wasn't I terrific for my age? Chock-a-block with talent and witty persiflage. Whatever you felt about the show, I'm sure you must agree that as living legends come and go, there's nothing quite like me. We all come from many different walks of life, and yet we've touched each other tonight. Oh, like man and wife. Tonight I felt a strange vibration, like a supernatural force. We've wept a little, thou and I, and laughed until we're hoarse. Would I sound foolish if I said we've had a form of intercourse? It breaks my heart that we have to part when I leave the stage. But when we're all in bed by soon, remember old fiddles play the best tune. And I hope you keep it up as long as I can act my beautiful one of you. That just fell down there. You can probably get it. There you are, darling.
Dame Edna, any regrets?
Je ne regrette rien.